everyone. Today we got to play Takenoko. So this is a bamboo farm game with very cute pandas. So before we get into it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because you want to hang out with us.
And you like really cute pandas.
And pandas are really cool. So, Randy, tell us more about this particular game.
Well, actually, I will say this panda was not so cool because it kept eating the bamboo when I was trying to build it. But Takenoko was released in 2011. Got a 7.3 rating on Board Game Geek. It's ranked 290. 2 to 4 players. It's 45 minutes, age 8 and up. Designer was Antoine Baza. Artists were Nicholas Fructus, Pixel, and Yuyo. Mm-hmm. Publisher was Matago and Bob Bix.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about quality of pieces. So you have these amazing wooden bead-like structures to create bamboo. Then you have the irrigation tiles, which are just thin blue sticks, but I mean, I don't know what more you could have really done with it anyway. Then you've got basic, literally Catan tiles, to be quite honest with you. The cards, they actually do have a linen finish. I do think they're actually pretty nice. And I love the miniatures. The farmer and the panda are just absolutely fantastic. So as far as quality of pieces, I'm probably going to give this an 8, maybe an 8.5. What are you thinking?
Yeah, this version definitely I think is probably an 8. Now, our friend Corey bought the big box version where the pandas are actual like statues, like porcelain, not porcelain, but like molded, I guess, statues, but they're about 6 inches tall, and all the tiles are retrospectively bigger as well, and that was amazing to play that with him.
Oh my gosh, I'm kind of jelly.
Yeah, I am too now, because when I saw it, I really liked it, but we just didn't play it that much, so I couldn't justify it. So now that you like it, I'm tempted to go out and track it down. And they released an expansion for this, Takenoko Chibis, which they also made a big box for.
Oh, so yeah. All right, so let's talk to theme. So basically, you're creating a kind of a farm to grow bamboo, and there's a panda out there eating some crops. So it's really cute, and I think the theme is really good for this. It's super adorable. I love like the growing and the panda coming after your stuff. It's not yours. Like and the fact that the land is everybody's, right?
I feel sorry for that poor farmer. He's working his tail off.
And the panda keeps eating everything.
I know, the panda's a jerk.
I know, right? Like, well, the panda's really cute. He's just hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So overall theme with the art and everything, the art's super cute. I'm probably going to give this probably a 7.5 on theme.
Oh, I was going higher than that.
What do you? I mean,
I'm more of a 9. I mean, it's a fun story. It's got a comic in the rule as far as the little story.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part.
And just the bamboo, the looks of the bamboo, the looks of the tiles, the fact that you have a painted miniature or those, and that's just standard in the game. That's not an add-on.
But that goes with quality of pieces.
Yeah, well, it's the art of it though too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I mean, the quality was, I think, an 8 as far as the components. But I think the theme of it, the story, the paint, and everything else, I think that's a 9 to me.
I mean, I could probably give you an 8. I just don't know if it's 9.
Well, okay. I mean,
just
you can have a different opinion.
Just because the story isn't as much there, but it is super cute and super wonderful. The art is actually fantastic. So I definitely can see where you're getting your 9 from. I wasn't quite there. So moving on to rules.
It's a very simple game, and I love that it starts out with a comic. It's just very, that's where it adds to the flavor and the theme. All through the comic, it's narrated by the farmer. It's really cute, and the panda's coming in and eating everything while the farmer's trying to explain. It's really fun. The rules you're going through. It's
well, and you know what? Maybe that's why you gave it a higher rating for theme, is because you actually read the rule book, and so maybe I didn't get some of that flavor that you got.
But it's 8 pages long, and it's only, it's such a simple game. It's very hard to make a mistake on this. Once you've learned it, you really, I haven't played it probably in 5-6 years, and I was able to pick it up with just a matter of a couple of minutes of reviewing the rules.
All right, so give it a score.
I'm going to give it a 9 just because it's so fun with the.
Yeah,
the
I agree with the 9 because it is straightforward, but your player board really sets you up. You don't need anything additional, so I really like that fact that it is pretty much a let's do this.
Yeah.
There are little few nuances that someone has to know the rules, but generally speaking, you can go in and just jump in.
Yeah.
So moving on to actual gameplay. So the gameplay is pretty straightforward. You typically have 2 actions, and you notate them by the player circles that you have. And there is 1 dice. You roll the dice, and depending on what the face of the dice is, you get a special action at the beginning of your turn. So it can range from getting another action, having a free growth, being able to play the same action, because that's not normally standard, moving the panda wherever you want, or getting one of these specialty tiles that you can place on the land to give them special abilities. And then the question mark is anything that, your choice. So then you have 2 tokens. So you can place your token on 5 different actions, but they can't be the same action because, like I said, you have 2 tokens and they cover up an action, so then you have to go somewhere else to do that. The exception, of course, is that initial roll. And so these actions include gaining a tile. So you draw 3, take 1, put the rest under in the bottom of the deck, and then place the 1. Then the second action is you can gain an irrigation. So this is important because if a tile is not irrigated, it does not count towards the victory point bonuses for the cards that you can play. And then the next one is to move the farmer in a straight line. So it doesn't matter how many spaces you move as long as it's in a straight line. And then wherever they land, they end up growing. So most of the growth is 1, but there are specialty tiles that allow for 2, which is the fertilized tile. And then you have the panda movement. So you can move the panda in 1 line, again, straight directional, as many tiles as long as it's in a straight line, and they eat where they land. And then finally is the cards. So the cards are actually how you get victory points in this. So there are 3 kinds of cards. There are the tile placement cards, which have a blue back, the growth, which has a red back on it, and then purple is the panda eating back. So basically, you can choose which cards that you want to go after. That's the card that you choose for that. You only get 1. You don't get to sort through them or anything. It's just the random top of the draw. But you do get to choose between the 3. So, for example, the panda in this instance, with this particular card, it's if you have 2 green parts of the bamboo, then you get 3 victory points if you play it. This one is, for example, you have to have a bamboo stalk of 4 in a fertilized pink area. Okay, so that's kind of, but this one is like 3 tiles in this particular shape or formation. But all of them have to be irrigated. So that's pretty much out. And the end of game is when you get 8 cards played.
It depends on player count.
Okay.
3 players, it was 8. It varies.
Okay, so you'll have to look that one up when you go to play it. And then everyone gets 1 turn after that, and then that ends the game, and then you add up points. I will say there are some cards that are harder than others. I really think the growth was very difficult, and I'm not sure it was necessarily worth the victory points.
I would say I don't think any of them are bad except for I think the ones where the panda eats 3 different colors that give you 6 points was a little overpowered.
I feel like, that's what I'm saying. I
think
like
the panda eating is the easiest thing to accomplish, and it felt like 6 points. It was over much for that.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of like saying. I was like, man, he's getting 6 points, but to get 6 points for the growth, I have to have 3 of these at exactly level 3, not over, exactly at level 3, and that was very, very difficult and very annoying. I got a little annoyed in the game, even though I really had a lot of fun doing it. And maybe because I didn't know that, because then maybe I would have changed some stuff up. So I do think that the eating was a little much. It was kind of a little.
I mean, in general, the eating isn't bad because most of them are 2 or 3 points. But
he got 2 6s, a 4, and a 3. I mean, that can get pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you were able to complete 8 full cards. You guys weren't that far apart.
Yeah, and only one of those was eating. Most of mine were the land or the stock.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm saying. I really do think that the growth was actually harder than the other 2. And that's kind of a bummer because that's kind of where I went. But now that I know, I guess, not necessarily. But then if you have no one growing, then it'd be very difficult to eat because someone's going to have to grow.
Right.
So in that case, maybe that is a boon, if you will. But at the end of the day, I want to play this again knowing so I did get a little frustrated in the game because just trying to understand like the playing cards, and I guess I chose the wrong strategy. But I really did liked it. I like a farming game, and I thought that this was super cute, and I liked the fact that Panda went and can go eat, but yet, so I just thought it was cute and adorable. So I'm actually probably going to give this an 8. It was super cute, super fun. I want to play this again, definitely, especially now that I know how to play.
Now I got to track down where I put the Chibi's expansion for it because I've never played with the expansion, so I'm curious what that adds.
Who knows? Maybe we'll do a review on that one here soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you finally differentiated this from Tokaido because we've had this discussion I don't know how many times. Every time I suggested this game to you because I thought you would like it, you were like, "No, I don't like that. No."
I thought it was anyway. We haven't reviewed the other one.
Well,
yet.
I know.
So I thought I confused it with another game, and I wasn't a huge fan of the other game. Well, it's not that it was bad; it was just boring. So I got it confused. Well, I had a lot of fun. So, what did you give a score as?
I think I'm right there with you with an 8. I think an 8 is it's a solid score for this. It's very light. It's a little lighter than my taste normally, but it's something that's easy to get to the table, and I think Sarah will really enjoy this game.
I know. I kind of really want to play with this with her. She could play this.
Yeah, I think she could. So I think that I would love to play the big box one with her. I think she would.
Oh my gosh,
love
it'd
that.
be adorable. That one you almost have to do it at like a convention too, as well, because just the presence I'm sure is absolutely fantastic for that one.
Oh, it is, yeah. And I mean, we could probably get Corey to bring it over so we could see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast, and hopefully you guys did too. We hope to catch you guys again. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.